Hi everyone, today we're going to review for the Unit 4 mid-unit assessment. So I wanted to make sure that you're ready. So we're going to start with question 1. A person can read 32 pages of a book in 1/4 of an hour. What is the person's rate in pages per hour? So I'm going to start by setting up a table because you know how much I love tables. So I've got my pages and I've got my hours. So this person can read 32 pages in 1/4 of an hour. So I want to figure out how much they can read in 1 hour because it says per hour. So I'm going to divide by 1/4 on each side because 1/4 divided by 1/4 is 1 whole. So I'm going to set up 32 over 1 divided by 1/4, and we're going to keep, change, flip. And if you guys remember from the flip, that's called the reciprocal. So 32 over 1 times 4 over 1. So we're multiplying by the reciprocal. So 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. And then 1 times 1 is 1. So this person can read 128 pages per hour. Question 2. A snail can crawl 3/5 of a yard in 1/4 of an hour. How many yards can the snail crawl in 1 hour? So again, I've got my yards and I've got my hours. I know we can go 3/5 of a yard in 1/4 of an hour. So again, I'm going to find for 1 whole hour because it says in 1 hour right there. So I'm going to divide by 1/4, and order matters here. In division, order matters a lot. So I've got 3/5 divided by 1/4. So I'm going to keep, change, flip. And if you remember, the flip is called the reciprocal. So 3/5 times 4 over 1. So I end up with 12 over 5. 5 goes into 12 2 whole times with 2/5 left over. So 2 out of 5 pieces left over. But if I had to enter this into like a box for an open response question, I would do 12/5. So if I was going to leave my answer, I'd leave it 12/5. All right, Mateo is draining a pool at a rate of 1/6 of a gallon of water for every 1/5 of an hour. If he continues to drain the pool at this rate, how much water will be drained in 1 hour? So we've got gallons and we've got hours. So it's 1/6 of a gallon in 1/5 of an hour. And they want to know after 1 hour. So I'm going to divide by 1/5. So I have 1/6 divided by 1/5. So I have to keep, change, flip, and that flip is called the reciprocal. 1/6 times 5 over 1. That word reciprocal must be important, and you must have to know it later in life if I keep saying it. So it's going to drain 5/6 of a gallon in 1 hour. All right, Bob frosted 5 2/3 cakes in 3/4 of an hour. At this rate, in cakes per hour, how many did he frost the cakes? At what rate in cakes per hour did he frost the cakes? That makes more sense. So I've got my cakes and I've got my hours. So I'm going to do 5 times 3. So I get 15 plus 2. So I get 17 over 3 and 3/4 of an hour. And I want to figure out in 1 hour. So I'm going to divide by 3/4. So if you remember, I always like to put my mixed numbers into improper fractions when I put them into my chart because it just makes it easier for me when I go to divide. So 17 over 3 divided by 3/4. So keep, change, flip. So 17 over 3 times 4 over 3. And I end up with 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 2 is 6. So 68 over 9. So I know I have 68 divided by 9. So I know that 9 goes into 68 Well, 9 times 5 is 45, 9 times 6 is 54, 9 times 7 is 63, so that's what it's got to be, with 5/9 left over. But if I had to put it in an open response, that's how I would leave it. All right, a bus is traveling at a constant speed. If the bus travels 10 3/4 miles in 1/4 of an hour, how many miles does the bus travel in 1 hour? So again, we're looking for 1 hour. So I've got miles and hours. So I know it's 10 3/4. So that's 10 times 4 is 40, plus 3 is 43. And that's in 1/4 of an hour. And I'm going to find for 1 hour. So I'm going to divide by 1/4. So I have 43/4 divided by 1/4. So I'm going to keep change flip. That flip is called the reciprocal. 43/4 times 4/1. So I end up with 16, 17, 172 divided by 4. $43. So he can go 43 miles in 1 hour. I don't know why he's a he, but he can. All right, so now we're getting into some of the review. So a light bulb measures 5 meters tall, casts a shadow that's 3 meters long. At the same time, a person standing near the light pole casts a shadow that's 1.8 meters long. So this is from Unit 1. So I've got my big and my small. So I know that my big is 3, my small is 1.8, and I know that the 5 is on the big. So I'm going to divide by 3. So I'm doing 1.8 divided by 3. So 3 goes into 18 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. Subtract, and I get 0. So I'm going to get 0.6. So 1 times 5 is 5. So 0.6 times 5. So I know 6 times 5 is 30, and I have one number behind the decimal in my problem, so I have to have one number behind the decimal in my answer. So that's going to be 3. So the man is 3 meters tall. All right, in a video game, Claire scored 30% more points than Tyler. If C is the number of points that Claire scored and T is the number of points that Tyler scored, which equations are correct? Select all that apply. So Tyler is 100% and Claire scored 30% more, so plus 30%. So that would be 130%. So I know that I could have 1.3t. I could have t plus 0.3t. C is out because there's no t after the 30. If I distribute the t, so t times 1 and then t times 0.3, that would work. E is out because there's no t after the 30. So it could have been A, B, and D. Number 9, a department store is having a sale. Skirts are on sale for 35% off the original price P. Select all the equations that could be used to find S, the sale price of the skirt. Well, I know if I'm finding the price off, it's 35% of the original price. So this one would give me 35 cents off, so that one's out.
May I have your attention, please? 8th graders who have signed up for Lunch and Learn with a special agent, please get your disposable lunches and quickly report to the media center. 8th graders who have signed up for Lunch and Learn. Amaya Collins, please report to the office for checkout.
I also know that they're asking for what the sale price is. So this one is going to give me how much she saved, not how much she's going to pay. So I'm going to cross that one out. So I know that this one is going to give me the whole amount minus the discount. And this one is going to give me 1 whole minus 35% is 65%. So both of these would be the correct answers. All right, a store has a sale of 20% off the sale price of an item of $18. Which equation would calculate the original price of the item? Well, I know that the 20 for B doesn't have a variable after it. And I know the 80 for D doesn't have a variable after it. So I'm looking between A and C. So if I save 20%, I'm going to be paying 80% because I have 100. If I save 20, I'm paying 80. So that's why the answer is C. All right, I have a circular bottom to my water tank and it has a 5-foot radius. And they want to know what the approximate circumference of the bottom of the tank is. Well, I know my circumference formula is C equals pi times diameter. So I know that I'm going to need my whole line, so that would be 10. So C equals 3.14 times 10. So I know I have 3.14 times 10. So 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 3 is 3. So I have 1, 2 numbers behind the decimal, 1, 2 numbers behind the decimal. So it would be 31.4 feet would be my circumference. All right, what does 4/100 represent according to the graph? Well, 4 represents the time, so 4 minutes. And we're talking about the typing speed. So he can type 100 words in 4 minutes. And I'm getting that information from the 4 is the X and 100 is the Y. All right, what is the unit rate that's described by each representation? So I have to find the amount for 1. So 6 divided by 2 means that 3 miles in 1 hour. If I want to find for 1, I'm going to divide by 3, divide by 3. 9 divided by 3 would be 3. Okay, our unit rate here is just given to us. It's going to be 3. And then over here, we always do y divided by x. Okay, so that would be 1/3. Last one. Which tables and graphs do not show a proportional relationship? So remember, a proportional relationship means that, let's do the graphs first, that it starts at the origin and it goes in a straight line. So even though this one goes in a straight line, it doesn't start at the origin. Even though this one goes in a straight line, it doesn't start at the origin. And then when you divide y by x, you get the same value. So 5 divided by 10 is 1/2. 7 divided by 14 is 1/2. 9 divided by 18 is 1/2. Oh, hang on. It says not. I wasn't reading carefully. So this one is a proportional relationship. 4 divided by 3 is 1.33. 6 divided by 4 is going to give me so 4 goes into 20 5 times. So that one's definitely not proportional. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 30 divided by 10 is 3. 45 divided by 15 is 3. Okay, so those 3 are not proportional relationships. All right? So please let me know if you have any questions or let Ms. Diamond know, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.